after, if we get the time,
I
we
think
will go first.
conditional will definitely take an entire session. So let's do it today itself instead of going for
Okay.
this topic. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, coming to this topic of conditionals, please write down the heading: conditional sentences. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
conditional tenses or sentences, however you want to mention, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, tell me what is your information on conditionals?
There are
How much do you know about it?
three,
Mhm.
four types of conditional sentences,
Three or four?
and it can be five also.
Yeah. Actually, there are majorly four kinds of conditional tenses. Okay, four.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there is a fifth one also, which is called mixed conditionals, but that is
Mm-hmm.
not usually counted. So, what are counted are four conditionals. Okay, so there are four conditionals, and they are differentiated in on the basis of present, past, future, and all that, likability, possibility, in all those bases. So, yeah, let's start with zero conditional in that case.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, do you have proper information on what are conditional sentences in general? Which sentence can be called a conditional sentence?
Conditional sentences basically start with if, or if I would be.
Mhm. If I
So
would is
there is,
always wrong. Yeah, you can never say if I would. That is wrong.
but in a condition sentence it is used. If I were is also used. If I
Were.
were a
Were is
principal, if
used.
I were.
Were is
Okay.
used. Would is never used. If I would is not
Mm-hmm.
used. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
grammatically incorrect to say that. Okay. Coming to
Mm-hmm.
this, coming to zero conditional, in every sentence where there are two parts, where one of them is a condition and the other one is an outcome, that is known
Mm-hmm.
as a conditional sentence. Okay. So coming to
Mm-hmm.
the first part, that is called the zero conditional. Please write the
Mm-hmm.
sentence. If you
Yes.
heat water, this is a really commonly given example. If you
Okay.
heat water at 100 degrees,
Oh, yes.
it boils.
It boils.
It boils. Okay.
Mm.
If you heat
Mm.
water at 100 degrees, it boils. It means
Mm.
this is a guaranteed outcome. There is
Mm-hmm.
no other possibility when you look at it. Okay. So that is why whenever there is a guaranteed outcome, please write it on the inside a bracket next to zero conditional. Please write it inside the
Okay.
bracket that it is about
Guaranteed.
guaranteed outcomes. Guaranteed outcomes,
Guaranteed.
short answers. In those cases,
Sure,
we go
sure.
for zero conditional.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to understand the structure of this sentence, please have a look. If plus which tense is used before the comma? You heat water. Which tense is this?
Present.
Simple present, right?
Simple
And
present. Mm.
the one that has been used after the comma, it
Now
boils,
here also it boils. It is also simple present.
simple present. So the formation is if plus simple present plus simple present.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
If
That is,
plus simple
this
present
is
plus
in the
simple.
case of zero, na? Zero condition.
Yes, it is only in the case of zero conditional.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And not just things which are factually correct may come under this category. Now, you may say when children participate in a contest, anything is possible. Children may either, one child may either win the contest or lose the contest or may not be able to complete the contest also. But then there are parents who come with the mindset to say, मेरी बेटी अगर participate करती है तो जीतती ही जीतती है, फिर कुछ नहीं होता, फिर वो जीतती ही है, बस वही जीतती है. So this is an emotionally backed sentence. This may not be 100% true. It's not necessary that it is 100% true, but it is an emotionally backed sentence, and it is the perception of that father. It is the confidence of that father that is compelling him to say one such sentence. If my daughter, if my daughter participates in a contest, she wins that contest. Okay. Nothing else can happen. She can only
Hmm.
win that. Okay. Only she can win that.
Only she will. Yes.
Yes. Only she can win that. So that
So
is the point.
we need not to state that only word in the sentence. It is
Only she
understood.
can win that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is why zero conditional is there. That's why you're setting up one condition and one outcome only. You're not saying there are multiple outcomes possible, only one outcome is possible. Now, this sentence may be
Hmm.
factually incorrect. Obviously, this sentence is factually incorrect. What if his daughter does not participate in the concept contest?
Then
What if she is not able
hmm.
to complete the contest? What if she falls ill on the day of the contest? So she will not be able to win. So that is why this is factually incorrect or factually correct. That is uncertain. But the point is what the speaker wants to deliver is that this is a certain thing. Nothing else is possible. Only this outcome. This is guaranteed according to the speaker. Okay. So you don't have to get into the fact whether it is factually correct or not. If the speaker feels it is correct, then we'll make the zero conditional sentence. Okay. Coming to first conditional. There is a marginal difference between first and zero conditional. Next to first conditional's heading, write down inside a bracket
Hmm.
and write it down possible and likely outcomes. Possible and likely outcomes.
Okay.
Okay. It means possible and likely outcomes fall under this category.
Hmm.
Okay.
For
So, for
example,
example, yeah. For example, if you work hard, please write down the sentence. If you work hard,
hmm, hmm,
you will crack the examination.
where is comma used here?
After the first half, if you crack the examination, comma,
Yes.
you will.
If you work hard.
No, if you
If
work
you
hard.
work.
Sorry. Yes, if you
Yes.
work hard, then comma, you will crack the examination.
So it is necessary in these conditional sentences that like after one clause, one part of sentence, we need to add comma, right? Or not?
Yes, because these are two parts. That is why to separate them,
Hmm.
we'll have to use a comma. Definitely.
Hmm.
In every conditional sentence, you will see a comma in between.
Okay.
Okay. Because the
And
first part
that
is the
is,
condition, the second part is the
and
outcome of
second
that
is the
condition.
outcome. And it always start with if only.
Not necessarily. When you say once he comes back, we
Okay.
will enjoy the ice cream together. Once he comes back.
Hmm.
So once also
Hmm.
is a conditional word here. In fact, in the zero conditional, there is an interesting part which
Hmm.
is in place of if you can say when, you can say whenever. The meaning of the sentence will not change, but only in the zero
Ne-
conditional.
Okay.
Okay. Just use it in the previous sentence. When my daughter
Uh,
participates in a contest, she wins that contest.
okay.
Use
Whenever
it in
my
the first
daughter
one.
participates,
Hmm.
whenever my daughter participates, she wins the contest.
She wins the contest. Use it in the first sentence if you heat water.
Okay. When you heat water at 100 degrees Celsius, it boils.
It boils. So there is no difference in the meaning, only in the zero
Hmm.
conditional. Likewise, there
Hmm.
are many conditional words like until also. Until unless you come home, I am not going to leave you. Until unless जब तक तुम घर नहीं आ जाते तब तक जब तक तब तक. So these are also conditional tenses. Conditional words, sorry. Conditional words. So many such words can be there. Okay.
So
That's
like
an endless list.
please clear that like until you complete this you won't get that, right? So this
Yes.
is sort of first condition or zero.
This is which one? Until you
Until you complete this you won't get that, like until you complete your homework you won't get mobile.
first conditional. Quite a
It
commonly used
why
sentence by,
why
yeah,
why
I'll tell
it is
you.
guaranteed? Hmm.
No, this may be guaranteed, but you're not guaranteeing it by saying you won't get the mobile phone. Won't means you're saying it's a possibility. It's likely.
No, you won't, you would not get, I mean to say
Won't is
that.
not would not. Won't is will not. Okay. And wouldn't cannot be used at this place. Because that is past
You,
tense. Yeah.
so what the sentence should be?
The sentence should be It can be both ways, by the way. You can say if you, yeah, unless you complete your homework, you won't get your phone. Please ignore any typos.
Okay,
Unless you
you
complete your
won't.
homework, you won't.
Here you
Won't
want
is the
to say
short
that
will
short
not.
contraction of will not.
Will not. Exactly.
And would
Will
not,
not.
what is the contraction for would not?
Wouldn't. Wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know it, you just got confused right now.
Yes,
So
yes,
will
yes.
not becomes won't and would not becomes wouldn't.
Hmm.
Okay, can you say unless you don't complete your homework?
Unless you don't complete. Yes, we can say that.
No, we can't. Do you know words like unless and until? These are negative words.
Negative words.
So adding
And
one
two
more negative
negatives
will make
can.
it positive. Yes, yes.
Yes,
So
yes.
that is why, unless you just like Americans sometimes say, when the police asks them, "What did you do?" So they say, "I did not do nothing." This is what this statement is.
Hmm.
I didn't do nothing. So this makes no sense.
Hmm.
This is rubbish.
Hmm.
So did
Okay.
not do nothing. It means they did something. So two negatives
Hmm.
makes it positive. Okay. So that has to be kept in mind.
So can
Now
you give
coming
me
to
one more example for what first conditional?
for first conditional, there are numerous examples.
Yes.
If I turn
Okay.
off the light, the room will get dark.
Okay.
Okay. If I turn off the light,
Hmm.
the room will get dark. Now imagine if I say the same sentence in zero conditional. If I turn off the lights, the room gets dark. That can be said. But what is the difference in the meaning then? In the first one, when I say if I turn off the light, the room will get dark, then I'm just talking about this scenario. Right now when I turn off the light. But when you say if I turn off the light, the room gets dark, it means every time you do it. ऐसा ही होता है. जब मैं लाइट बंद करती हूँ तो कमरे में अंधेरा हो जाता है.
Hmm.
अगर हम बोलते हो जाएगा यानी कि अभी अभी हो जाएगा, बात का नहीं कह सकते. हो सकता है बाद में बाहर से लाइट सोर्स हो, फिर अंधेरा ना हो. So right
But the
now it is
basic
likely impossible.
basic
Hmm.
difference is that like whenever we teach tenses in our class, we say that factual things, truth or your routine, that comes in simple present.
Yes,
So zero condition
that is
is
why
also taking simple
is in
present
simple
and
present.
factual things.
Absolutely right.
Yes.
You got it right. Yes,
Hmm.
that's how it is. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Next, now coming to second conditional. Second and
Hmm.
third, we will learn them
Okay.
together. But in front of
Okay.
second conditional, inside the bracket, write down hypothetical, hypothetical conditions,
Hmm.
hypothetical conditions in the present or future.
Okay. Not in okay. Hypothetical can't be in past.
No, it can be in the past. It can definitely
Past.
be in the past.
Okay.
Yes, yes. That is why we have third conditional.
Oh.
Third
Okay.
conditional, yeah, that is unreal situation. Hypothetical in the past means unreal. Can you go back in the past and change things? No, you can't. But we think about doing that. When do we think about doing that? When we regret. काश मैंने 5 साल
Hmm.
पहले पढ़ाई कर ली होती तो आज कुछ अलग बात
Hmm.
होती. So that is
Hmm.
past hypothetical. But here we are concentrating on present or future hypothetical. Okay. For
Okay.
example, in a way, Pakistan has attacked India. So
Hmm.
now there are many people in the country जो घर बैठे प्रधानमंत्री बन गए हैं and सब लोग बोल रहे हैं मैं प्रधानमंत्री होता ना पाकिस्तान को नक्शे से मिटा देता. This is what they are saying, right? That is stupidity of the highest order, but they are saying it. So इसका मतलब क्या है? This is hypothetical in the present. अगर अभी मैं हूँ ना प्राइम मिनिस्टर फिर देखो क्या हो जाए, right? So if I
Hmm.
were the prime minister, this is how we say if I
Yes.
were the prime minister, I would remove Pakistan from the world map. Okay.
Okay.
So ये कुछ बातें हैं जो लोगों की हैं. If I were the PM, I would remove Pakistan from the world map. अब ये पास्ट में नहीं बोल रहे हैं, ये तो अभी सिचुएशन चल रही है तब बोल रहे हैं. Right now we are saying it. We're not
Hmm.
talking about the past tense. We are not talking about Pulwama attack. अगर हम यही बात
Hmm.
पुलवामा में बोले then we'll say because it happened in 2019. If I
19.
had
Yes.
if I had been the PM during Pulwama attack, I would have launched a nuclear attack on Pakistan. तभी तो आप नहीं है प्राइम मिनिस्टर, right? If I had been the PM during Pulwama attack, I would have launched a nuclear attack on Pakistan. But consider the first sentence. If I were the PM, here we are
Yes, yes.
using if plus simple
With
past
simple past,
plus
yes.
would plus verb.
Yes, yes.
This is the formation. Now, when you use third conditional, which is about hypothetical situations in the past, there you
Wait,
use
wait.
if.
So
Sure,
okay,
sure, I can wait.
wait a
No,
minute.
take your time.
If like for second conditional hypothetical present and future, if we talk about situation, so we use I and were. Basic, like in common, we use I was doing that. I
Exactly.
was. So this
That is what
is only for
differentiates.
conditional.
That is, this is only for hypothetical conditions. Okay.
Okay.
It's only for hypothetical conditions. Don't we sometimes say पूरा conditional sentence बनाने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. But don't we sometimes say काश मैं dancer होता. काश मैं dancer होता. Right?
If I
So
were a
इतना
dancer.
sentence. I wish I were a dancer. I wish I were a dancer. Okay. अगर मैं
Okay.
dancer होता बोले तो बात अलग है. Then you'll say if I were a dancer. But if you're saying काश मैं dancer होता.
I
काश मैं
wish.
dancer. I wish I were a dancer.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I wish I were the world's best dancer. काश मैं दुनिया का
Hmm.
सबसे अच्छा डांसर होता, right? But we are not
Hmm.
completing it ahead. We are not saying तो ऐसा होता. हम नहीं बोल रहे तो ऐसा होता. We're
नहीं
just saying
बोल रहे.
काश मैं. We're just
Hmm.
creating that regret in the mind. क्योंकि अब नहीं हो
Okay.
सकते, right? क्या पता अभी भी हो
नहीं हो
सके. That's a
सकते.
different thing.
हो सकते हैं.
We can still be. Yes, we can still be because it is in the present. But नहीं हो सकते तब होगा if I had been the world's best dancer. It means अब नहीं हो सकते हैं. That is why we are saying had been the world's best dancer. Okay. This is
Okay,
the
that
difference
is
between them.
third, na. That
Yes,
is
third
third
condition.
conditional.
Yes, it's
Uh,
crucial to learn both of them together, third and second.
so what is the like what you said that in third conditional we use I with had been.
Yes, I'll come to that, don't worry. Let's first of all
Okay.
complete the second one. Inside the bracket you have written, right?
Hmm.
Hypothetical conditions in the present and future. Then
Yes,
have you
yes.
written a sentence? If I were the
Yes.
PM. Mhm.
PM. Hmm.
Now let us use without were also. If I
Okay.
won the lottery,
Okay.
won a lottery actually, a lottery लिखेंगे.
Hmm.
If I
Hmm.
won
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
lottery,
Hmm.
I would build a bungalow. I would build a bungalow. Now,
Hmm.
it means that in the future or in the present, if I win a lottery. But because winning a lottery is a hypothetical situation, I may have not even bought a lottery ticket and say it. अगर मैं लॉटरी टिकट जीत जाऊं ना फिर देखो क्या हो, राइट? सो इफ आई वन अ लॉटरी आई वुड बिल्ड अ बंगलो. तो मैं बंगलो बना दूंगा अपना. Okay. Now this person has not even bought a lottery ticket. Even if he has bought a lottery ticket, the result is not out. अभी result भी नहीं आया है. But he's just confessing these things in front of his friends. वो बस बोल रहा है. बोलते हैं ना फसक मारना कहते हैं. फेंकना. So that is if I won a lottery, I would build a bungalow. Let's go one step further and say if I had a land on the moon. If I had a piece of
Hmm. Hmm.
land on the moon, I would settle there. This is one step further. ये और बड़ी चीज फेंकने वाली बात है. I would settle there.
Okay.
पहले तो मून पर जमीन होना. This
So,
itself is
matlab,
a
why
hypothetical.
you are saying fake na in the sense like that is not possible. No, like no possibility
Exactly.
is.
Exactly. It's not possible. It's hypothetical.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you do not have to just talk about things which are hypothetical. For example, this can be hypothetical for me, but this may not be hypothetical for someone like Sunita Williams. There are people
Hmm.
buying land on the moon. ऐसे लोग भी हैं,
Yes.
right? who are buying land. But I, by far, am not going to be an astronaut. I don't have the required funds, just like Jeff Bezos or other people, Elon Musk. I don't have that kind of money,
Yes, Elon Musk.
right?
Yes.
So if I don't have that kind of money, if I don't have that kind of approach, if I'm not eminent enough, why would people take me to the moon and then make me settle there? Right? That's a hypothetical situation. From due course of life, from the normal course of life, it is not possible. That is why, for me, if I were the prime minister, now Nitin Gadkari, if says the same thing because he is a fellow minister, there is still a possibility of him becoming the prime minister someday, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
For Rahul Gandhi,
Yes.
also it is hypothetical because his party is not into power, right? But imagine if his party had been into power, he could have also said it in the normal sense. If
Mm-hmm.
I, if I am the prime minister, in that case, they'll say, if I am the prime minister, I will abolish Pakistan. Okay, but यहाँ पर तो possible ही नहीं है. For me, it is impossible. I am not even fighting class monitors election, by the way, but let alone becoming the prime minister of the nation. So it is hypothetical for me. So for different people, different things can be hypothetical and real,
Okay. Yes. 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 Yes.
based on their lives. So these
Yes.
are all the four conditionals in front of you.
So, but like in third condition.